When Disney purchased Fox, they gained the rights to many properties, including the Night at the Museum franchise. And yesterday, they released an animated sequel called The Rise of Kahmunrah. Now, as a kid, I loved the Night at the Museum movies. I remember seeing the first one with my dad at a theater that had just opened, and going to see the second one with him when that one came out. And by the time the third one came out, I was old enough to go to the movies by myself, so I saw that one on my own. And I thought the third film wrapped up the franchise rather nicely, though I did find it a bit on the weaker side. But I'm always open to new takes on a franchise. Unfortunately, this one's pretty mixed. Now, the animation in it is pretty good, and it definitely has some effort put into it. And the animation kind of reminded me of the Tangled TV series or the Curious George TV series. But on a plot level, it's... This one is definitely aimed more towards a younger audience, and I do have a few issues with the plot. First off, none of the original cast members come back. Now, Zachary Levi I can kind of buy as a replacement for Ben Stiller, but the other replacement actors sound nothing like the characters they're portraying. Also, keeping Teddy Roosevelt in this movie seems highly disrespectful to the late Robin Williams, especially because the third night at the museum was his last role. And some of the plot is also kind of hard to buy into. For some reason, the Smithsonian has transferred Kahmunrah's tomb to the New York Museum, and why would they do that? And reusing Kahmunrah just seems like a lazy rehash, especially because his brother Ahmed-Ra isn't even in this movie. Like, you couldn't have come up with a different villain. All the evil people throughout history you could have used, and you had to reuse a villain. Like, why? And why do we even need to go to the same museum? Right? Why are we returning to the New York Museum? What made the sequels kind of fun was getting to explore different museums and seeing the different exhibits come to life. Like Larry Daly, like the main character from the first movie, he works at a museum in Tokyo now. I want to see what happens with that. I want to see what happens with the Tokyo Museum. Like, how fun would it have been to see, for example, like a statue of Godzilla coming to life, like the dinosaurs from the other movies? That would have been awesome. But yeah, plot-wise, it's a pretty weak movie. Now, I do like Joan of Arc. Like, she's a fun new character, and there is some dark humor regarding how she died. It sort of becomes this running joke. So if you're a fan of the other movies, it's watchable enough, but you can definitely tell there wasn't as much passion or effort put into this one. It feels like a TV show pilot, and a Night Museum TV show could be kind of fun, but as a standalone film that probably won't expand into a show, it's on the weaker side. So for me, it gets a C+, 7 out of 10, and 3 out of 5 stars.